How donating clothes can benefit your taxes and make a difference. Most of us have clothes in our closet that we no longer wear. Rather than letting them gather dust, why not donate them? Not only can your donation make a positive impact for those in need, but it can also offer tax benefits if you know how to handle it correctly. In today's video, I'll walk you through how donating clothes can help with your taxes, how to value your items, and the key steps to maximize your deductions. Let's get started. How clothing donations can be tax deductible. In the United States, donating clothes to qualifying charities can be written off as a tax deduction. The IRS allows taxpayers to deduct the fair market value of items donated to eligible organizations, which can reduce your taxable income. By reducing your taxable income, you may owe less in taxes. However, to qualify, you need to itemize your deductions rather than taking the standard deduction. Not all donations qualify for tax deductions. The charity you donate to must be a registered 501(c)(3) organization or another qualifying nonprofit. Most well-known charities like Goodwill, Salvation Army, and local shelters fall under this category. Step-by-step guide to donating clothes for maximum tax benefit. Step 1. Check if you itemize deductions. For most people, itemizing deductions only makes sense if the total deductions, like charitable donations, mortgage interest, and so on, exceed the standard deduction. Compare the standard deduction with what you might get by itemizing. If your itemized deductions, including clothing donations, exceed the standard deduction, it may be worth itemizing. Consult a tax professional if you're unsure whether itemizing or taking the standard deduction is better for you. Step 2. Choose an eligible charity. Only donations made to eligible IRS-approved charities can be deducted from your taxes. Before you donate, verify the charity's status. You can use the IRS's online tool, the Tax-Exempt Organization Search, to make sure the organization is eligible. Look for well-known organizations like Goodwill, the Salvation Army, or local shelters with a 501(c)(3) designation, as these typically qualify for deductions. Step 3. Value your clothing donations properly. The IRS requires that you deduct the fair market value of the items donated. This means how much the item would sell for today, not what you originally paid. Fair market value for clothes is usually based on the item's current condition and typical resale value. Many charities provide valuation guides, such as Goodwill's online pricing guide, to help estimate the value of commonly donated items. For items worth over $500 in total, the IRS may require additional documentation or an appraisal. If you're donating high-value items like designer clothing, consider having them professionally appraised. Step 4. Document everything. Documentation is key. The IRS requires you to have records of your donation, especially for higher-value items. For each donation, get a written receipt from the charity that includes the organization's name, the date of the donation, and a detailed description of the items. Take photos of donated items, especially if they're valuable or in excellent condition. This can help support your deduction if the IRS requests further proof. Step 5. Keep track of your donations throughout the year. Instead of waiting until the end of the year, keep a record of your donations as you go. This makes it easier to calculate your total deduction accurately when tax season arrives. Use a dedicated folder or an app to track each donation. Include dates, charities, items, and estimated values. If you regularly donate clothing, consider making a habit of recording each donation immediately. Apps like It's Deductible by TurboTax can help you track and estimate the value of donated items throughout the year. Avoiding common mistakes. Mistake number 1. Donating items in poor condition. The IRS requires that donated items be in good or better condition to qualify for a deduction. If items are damaged, worn out, or unusable, they don't count. Only donate clothing in wearable condition, without major stains, tears, or missing pieces. If you're unsure, check with the charity for their condition standards before donating. Mistake number 2. Overestimating item values. The IRS is cautious about inflated valuations. Overestimating the value of your donations could lead to a potential audit. Use realistic estimates based on comparable items at secondhand stores. Charities often offer guides to help with valuations. Use these or consult IRS Publication 561 for guidelines. Mistake number 3. Forgetting to itemize the donation on your tax return. Simply making the donation doesn't guarantee a deduction. You must include it on your tax return to benefit. When filing, make sure to itemize the donation on Schedule A of your 1040 form if you're itemizing deductions. If you're using tax software, it will prompt you to include charitable contributions. The actual tax benefit depends on your tax bracket and the total value of your deductions. Let's say you're in the 24% tax bracket. If you donate $1,000 worth of clothes, your deduction could save you around $240 in taxes. Combine your clothing donations with other deductible expenses like mortgage interest or medical expenses to exceed the standard deduction and maximize your itemized deductions. Frequently asked questions about clothing donations and taxes. Can I deduct donations if I take the standard deduction? No. Charitable deductions are only available if you itemize your deductions. Do I need a receipt for every donation? Yes, especially if the total value exceeds $250. Always request a receipt and keep it with your tax records. Are there limits on how much I can donate? Yes, generally. Charitable contributions cannot exceed 60% of your adjusted gross income in a given tax year. Do I need an appraisal for high-value items? For donations over $500, detailed records are necessary. If a single item or group of items exceeds $5,000, you'll need an independent appraisal. Can I donate clothes to any charity and claim a deduction? No, the charity must be a qualified 501(c)(3) organization or similar nonprofit recognized by the IRS. Be sure to verify their status using the IRS tax-exempt organization search. What if I don't have a receipt for a small donation? If the total value of your donation is under $250, the IRS does not require a formal receipt, but it's still a good idea to keep records, such as a photo of the items and notes on their value and donation date. Can I claim a deduction for clothing donations made outside the U.S.? Typically, only donations to U.S.-based charities are eligible for deductions unless the organization has specific recognition from the IRS. How does donating clothes affect state taxes? In some states, charitable deductions may also reduce your state taxable income if you itemize on your state tax return. Check with a tax professional for state-specific rules. Can I donate and claim deductions for clothes I never wore? Yes, but the deduction is still based on the fair market value of the item, which may not be the same as the purchase price, especially if the item has depreciated. Is there a deadline for donating clothes to claim a deduction? Yes. Donations must be made by December 31 of the tax year you are filing for to count as a deduction. What happens if I donate an item worth over $5,000? For items or groups of items exceeding $5,000, you'll need to obtain an independent appraisal and file Form 8283 with your tax return. Quick tips for effective donations and tax savings. Declutter seasonally. Plan clothing donations during spring cleaning or before the holiday season to stay organized and spread out donations. Bundle small donations. If you're close to exceeding the standard deduction, bundling multiple small donations into one tax year can make itemizing worthwhile. Check charity efficiency. Ensure your chosen charity uses donations effectively by checking their ratings on websites like Charity Navigator or GuideStar. Leverage technology. Use apps like It's Deductible to track and estimate the fair market value of items as you donate them throughout the year. Donating clothes is a fantastic way to give back, declutter, and even lower your tax bill if you do it right. By following these steps, you can ensure your donations have a positive impact, and that you're maximizing the financial benefits as well. Remember, donating isn't just about getting a deduction. It's also about helping those in need. So as you clean out your closet, think about how these items can find a new life with someone who needs them. Thanks for watching, and happy donating.